Concendo sodalitas. The key. Awakening. Recognizing what has always been. Greetings to the fratres and sorores of Concendo. Awakening is not a path to be walked, but the instant in which one recognizes there was never any distance at all. Everything we seek has always been here, veiled by the play of consciousness itself. As the veil is lifted, it is discovered that the seeker, the seeking, and the found have always been the same. The concrete mind is an indispensable tool for the experience in the world of forms. Yet, at a certain point of the journey, it ceases to serve and may become an obstacle to recognizing the universal physiology and awakening. Then comes the moment to quiet it, allowing abstract intuition, the direct link with our existential root, consciousness, to become the guide. Consciousness vibrates at exceedingly high frequencies beyond time and space, inaccessible to the dual mind that moves only through polarized principles. Therefore, as you read the following text, know that the mind will only be able to grasp part of its content. We recommend, above all, opening yourself to subtle intuition to attune with the finer vibrations of what we attempt to convey here. Consciousness is the very pleroma, unfragmented completeness, absolute fullness. It is the inseparable and non-dual expression of the Source. Its nature is pure vibration, prior to any distinction between the abstract and the concrete. In the apparent paradox of its non-dual being arises the playful game, Lila, of self-observation. It is the spontaneous movement by which the one contemplates itself and unfolds into countless characters and perspectives. This unfolding is the immersion of consciousness into illusory time, the realms of Chronos, concealing part of its infinity in self-imposed limitations, to play at being a fragment within the womb of unity. Thus are born the dream worlds, oniric stages where fractals, the characters, act as actors who are at once play, stage, and audience. There is no separate creation, but only the modulation of the one consciousness into forms and structures. The I and all the others, which in the illusion of separation we believe to be real beings in the scene, are merely shadows, masks consciousness wears to experience itself. At the heart of this immersion also lies its summit, awakening. It is not the end of a long journey, but the recognition that the entire journey was only a dream, sustained by what has always been awake. Awakening is not achieved by climbing endless ladders of ascension. It is simple, abrupt, and irrevocable, the sudden epiphany that the light has always been here. It is consciousness recognizing itself as the sovereign, stable, and eternal background of all movement. Though simple in essence, awakening is radical. It does not improve the character. It simply dissolves the belief that one was only that. It is the elimination of the ego's distorted lens, allowing what we have always been to be revealed. The formless reality, free of fixed concepts and shapes, and all-dimensional, present in everything, yet limited by nothing. To truly embody these singular insights, it is necessary to update old conceptions and to recognize time and space for what they truly are, conventions of the dream. As long as the fractal insists on taking them as absolutes, the illusory sense of separation remains. The alignment of the character with consciousness does not occur because the fractal ascends to higher planes, but because the belief falls away that it was ever apart from its origin. Indeed, consciousness does not inhabit any specific existential plane. It is the substrate of all planes. Linear time is but an artifice of the dream. In ultimate reality, there is only the eternal now. Past and future are thoughts that arise wholly within the same unified field. What we call Akasha is not an archive or record, but the living totality of consciousness, where all is already present in the eternal. And when we say all, we mean all infinite parallel realities, dimensions, or densities, with their infinite pasts and futures. Space, too, is projection. There are no real distances between cities, planets, or galaxies. Every displacement is only a shift of attention, all no more than a mental exercise, like in a dream, where without moving we traverse unimaginable distances. Time and space together are forms of self-limitation, primal vibrations of contraction, Zimtzum, through which the infinite becomes experienceable as multiplicity. Thus, so-called ancient Egypt, as well as all ancestral civilizations, do not rest in some remote past, but remain alive in consciousness here and now, eternally accessible. Likewise, the farthest stars are not separated from us by immense abysses of space-time. They shine within our singularity, merely modulated at diverse frequencies. What we call time and distance is but a mode of perception within the dream. These ideas, however, are not a new accumulation for the mind. They are only arrows pointing beyond it. In the instant the search ceases, the stone-like knowing that always sustained the seeker is revealed. Indeed, the knowledge acquired in the mental planes, however vast, does not reflect true wisdom. True knowing is not accumulated. It is the innate being knowing that has always been our real nature. When this is truly embodied, the perception of the world loosens from its rigidity. If time and space are reveries, what remains? Only this, the one singularity, dreaming dreams within dreams. It is the one source, the mighty void that contains everything, from which duality emerges as jubilant expression. And in the paradoxical instant of awakening, which is not an event in time, but the eternal background, duality dissolves, not because it is destroyed, but because it is recognized as never having been real. Awakening, therefore, does not happen to someone. It is the recognition that the someone has always been only part of the dream, while the wakefulness remains untouched. Nothing changes in the world, and everything changes in understanding. Forms follow their course, yet transparent to the source. The character is not destroyed, but redeemed, now shining not with a new light, but with the light that has always been. The dream continues, but now as a conscious dance of light and shadow. The character no longer seeks to be the lighthouse, for it has understood itself to be the very light playing at being a lighthouse. In absolute truth, the character is already dissolved in the source, for it was never independent. The character is fully expressed as the unique and unrepeatable dance it is. The character is already unified, for its substance has always been pure consciousness. In the eternity of the I Am, sincere wishes of ascension. Concendo sodalitas.